Hi Jay, these two swings here are the last two swings. You sent me the number threes, but I looked at the other ones also, but I just thought I'd go through this one, the final result really. And what I like your swing, you're swinging good now, really good. It looks good. The only thing I would really say, um, yeah, so, from here I'd prefer to see the shaft just flatten a little bit. So just get a little bit more in this position, but you get in that position by moving the scapulars a little bit more. So this one tries to stay up. It doesn't stay. It doesn't go up. It kind of stays where it is, and then this right one just drops down a little bit, and then that would help the elbow come in this way, and then the shaft would flatten more into this position. So that's first thing. From here, I would prefer to see a little bit more arch in your lower back, so then you would be able to see the color. So then you'd feel like you'd be able to get more. Change that color; it's hard to see. So from here, a bit of an arch there, and that would help to keep this the glutes back this way. And then with the right lateral bend you were talking about in one of your videos, you're trying to keep that right hip up. I wouldn't necessarily try and keep that right hip up too much. I would try and feel like the left hip's going lower, because if you get your left hip or left side of your pelvis lower, let me see if I can show you through this. So from here, this is good at the top, it's fairly level with your hips here pretty level, but then what you want to feel is this going down, and then also back around. So if it was the other side, it'd be going back down this way with the left side of your hip. So it's left pelvic tilt and then anterior pelvic tilt. So the anterior pelvic tilt is the arch in your back, and then the left pelvic tilt would be, this would start to come down. So from there, and then it would start to move down into this position. And to do that, you just got to flex. So in this, near where your pocket is, you'll see more creases. It won't be quite as straight or as flat as where it is there. And that left pelvic tilt will help to get the right lateral bend. If you start pushing up this hip too high by going up on your toe a little bit too much, then you're going to be in a difficult position to recover from. So this position on the left, I like where your foot is and what you're doing in this position. I know you were just trying to get more right lateral bend towards this area here. But like I say, if you get left pelvic tilt, it will be much easier to get a little bit more right lateral bend from there. So you don't need a whole lot more, just a little bit more would be great. And then your shoulders would feel a little bit more straighter on this. Instead of being so open here, they'd feel a little bit straighter here. So on the right hand side is the drill you were doing for the right lateral bend, and this right hip is going up a little bit too much there. See how much higher you are off your toe. I'm trying to keep this right hip up. I would say that you don't really need that much. Just get that left pelvic tilt down, because you're almost blocking yourself just a little bit there. So I mean, there's two ways of doing it. You can do it that way. My preference is the left side of the pelvis going down. That helps to then produce the right lateral bend. So here we've got your last video on the left, and then the one you were talking about, right lateral bend, on the right. This is just your drill. So good backswing. But here it's just posting up a little bit too much in this right leg. Just looks like it's straightening, going a little bit too far. You still need to flex the right hip and the right knee on the downswing, but it's just not quite as much flexion as on the left hand side. So yes, here you've got sort of left pelvic tilt, which is good, but that's all because the right's just kind of lifted up a little bit and the left's come down slightly. I would prefer it all to come from the left side of the pelvis. And then, like I said before, so from the down the line, when you're doing this movement, try and just flatten the shaft just a little bit so it just drops a little bit behind you a little bit more. Okay, so moving on to the questions you asked, one of them was around about the release, what happens after the ball is gone. And I've done a couple of videos that I'll send to you, but then if I just show you, you probably need to watch those before you see what I mean on this part. So as Tiger comes through, he's always letting go, letting that release down. So the right wrist is in full extension there, as you can see on the right hand side. Right wrist got very good extension, but it's always releasing, even though the hands stay ahead. So the angle in the back of this right wrist, change that. The angle in the back of the right wrist is always giving up the angle compared to where it was at this point. It's hard to get the exact angle, but you can kind of see that would be more of an angle this way. And then it's always releasing the back of the right hand, so it's moving from full extension more towards flexion gradually. And then here it's going to be straight, and then the left starts to go from pretty much flexed to extended. So it's flexed, then it starts to hit there, and then it's going more towards the extended position here. So it's starting to cup at this point. So if I go back to the down the line view, what I was trying to say in one of the videos there, it's releasing. Now it starts to cup, and then if you look at his left hand as it comes out here, so now he's got a big extension in that wrist there, and this left arm is folded. So those are the things I was saying in one of my videos. Hopefully this will make it a little bit clearer for you after you read or after you watch those videos. So you can see there, so his back of his left hand is not flat. It's always been giving up the flexion in the left. Depends which wrist you want to think of. But even if you think about the right wrist, how, if I go back again on the right hand side, now the back of the right wrist has got full extension, so it's almost like a 90-degree angle there. And it comes through here, it's releasing, releasing, so now it's less than 90 degrees there. And then when it comes through to this follow through, it's almost going the opposite way, this way. So now there'll be creases in his wrist here, which means that's flexion, not extension, where it started. Yeah. Always releasing it that way. So hopefully that'll clear some things up with what happens with the release through the shot and then after the shot. Let's see a couple of things. Like I said in my video, you should feel like it's going to be kind of on the line of your spine, but in real time it just rolls over just a little bit this way because of the speed it's going. But that's kind of the goal, or the feeling I would get if you're doing it a little bit slower.